Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mechanics of Poetry, episode 6 of season 2, where we're doing one-on-one looks at poets' poems, 3 poems, to really look at them closely and enjoy them. Today's poet is James Evert Jones, and before we get into his poetry, I want to give him a chance to say whatever you would like to say. Go ahead, James.
Yes, hi. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day, night, evening, afternoon. I think I covered it all. I have been in the poetry community for over 30 years, just about, I think, a little bit less time than Mr. Campbell's. And started out as a poetry host and grew to love poetry and ended up becoming a poet. The art form is infectious, and it was joyful. And the one thing that I derived, I think, the most from poetry is that it helped me get a handle on perspective on things that I ordinarily could not otherwise handle. For instance, some people may be overwhelmed by the news that they see on television or get on the internet. You may be easily enraged by something that comes up on that turns up viral on your social media. To me, one of the things that really affected me, and something that I've just found overwhelming, was the death of George Floyd. And I've written 2 poems that deal with that. However, I'm only going to deal with the second poem that I wrote about George Floyd, because I think it gives a little bit more perspective and, and also some peace and, from my perspective, closure on it. So I hope you enjoy it, and take it away, Don.
Well, actually, bring up the poem, please.
Okay, well, I think I will start with that poem then. Thank you. Okay, so I will share my screen and we will bring up George. On his soul's final sojourn, his prayer was answered. He called to his mama, sprinted to her embrace, and no man's weight would ever hold him down.
Wow. That ending speaks volumes. Yeah, this is in the communal consciousness, right? Thanks to it having been shared. But poetry brought something more to it. Yeah.
Yes, I like this because it deals with that final moment. It takes us out of the sensibility of that which enrages us, or enraged us, which was the naked abuse of power, and the fact that it was that he died so needlessly and so callously. It takes us away from all that, and it brings us back to George's final moments of life, at least, from the perspective that I used. And it gives me, I think that rather than, I'm sorry, this poem still affects me.
Understood. Yeah. I'll say a couple of things. The title, George, it's much better that the title is just George. It's even more personal. And that first line on his soul's final sojourn is just, it's a pretty line because of the alliteration.
Mm-hmm.
And the part about calling to his mama, that's what we all know. And that is just a nightmare in all of our brains, especially if you've ever known anyone who was dying
Mm-hmm.
and they experience something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but the ending is really the best thing of all. It lifts our weights a little bit to know that there's something greater than this injustice.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I did want to, I think I did want to have, I did want to give him a happy ending.
Yeah.
And I think that's, the best that I could do.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Wonderful. And the other two poems,
Mhm.
which one do you want to line up next?
Okay, let's take a look at that one. The next poem that I have is, oh man, I wrote
I'll
this.
say this, this was very uncharacteristic of James Evert Jones poetry. He is the master of longer poems. So
Mhm.
that poem was so short, I was like, it took me aback for a moment there. Oh my goodness,
Oh.
this is a whole nother thing. I had to re-examine.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, now this is a little more average. There we go.
Okay. And this one is also another one. This is just a little bit shorter than my average.
Yeah.
And actually, the first time I wrote this, it was a friend of mine whose name just happens to be C. And I wrote it for her birthday because this was just what came up. And I ran across it and saw that it was, I found it in my history, because you get those little things on Facebook that say, "Oh, here's what you wrote 7 years ago." So
Yeah, I'm getting those two.
yeah, so yeah, so I figured I'd share this, and this is entitled "C." She lives near the beach to teach the wind how to caress and comfort, how to warn and sing, and how to give wings to clouds and winsome kites, how to awaken and how to say goodbye without heartbreak, how to perform deliveries and create swirling art, and how to share temper without rage. She lives near the beach to teach the wind confectionery recipes of salt and honey, how to welcome the hungry, and how to inspire poets and sailors. To teach the wind how to pitch woo with the moon and tide, how to lend flair to bridal trains, carry wishes and music, escort rainbows, and how to show affection with modesty. She lives near the beach, and the wind learns.
The magic of poetry.
Mm.
Well, to analyze,
Mm-hmm.
you gave me an insight into the title
Mm-hmm.
that I guess I would have had to figure out. I like to think I would have figured it out.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if I would have. I don't know.
No, I don't think that it would, that the backstory on it is that necessary.
Yeah.
It just came out, and it's still, I think it still embodies the qualities of the sea.
And the focus, this really has a great focus on what you wanted to get across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that first stanza, but the most magical thing there is that, of course, that she lives near the beach to teach the wind, and of course, to give wings to clouds.
Mm.
And win some kites. I'm sorry, almost forgot the kites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost left those guys out. Can't do that. Yeah, but then, right, each succeeding stanza is adding more pieces to this whole. And I was struck initially by both in the second stanza, create swirling art, and how to share temper without rage. Wow, these are more dimensions here. I'm still getting over the George poem myself because I have some friends. It just upsets me that people even have this thought, right? How the police identify people. Oh my God. And I just got close friends. Doesn't matter if they're my close friends. It shouldn't happen to anybody, but okay, I'll get back into the poem here. Third stanza. Yeah, that's another aspect, right? Welcome the hungry, inspire poets and sailors. Oh yeah. Now I'm beginning to figure it out. See, that helped a lot. But I think my favorite is the fourth stanza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because here you've got pitch woo with the moon and tide. Oh yes. Lend flare to bridal trains. Oh yes. Escort rainbows. Very nice. Very nice. And of course, I must mention show affection with modesty. Okay. Okay. I'll do it. And you sum it up. The wind learns.
Yes.
Very sweet. Very sweet. That's all I can come up with. Sometimes I read a poem, I get my own memory. That didn't happen here so much, really. I'd have to really force myself. I've been to the beach and I do have some memories, but this one is majestic. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm ready for that third poem. Are you ready for the third poem?
Yes. As a matter of fact, it is actually the third poem happens to be a prose piece. So
can we call it a prose poem?
No, it's a prose piece. Now, if you'd like a poem, I can do that too. You
Rules
sure?
are made to be broken. Rules are not I'm not putting anybody in a box. No way.
Okay.
Other than there's 3 poems. That's the one rule of the show, 3 poems.
Okay.
Otherwise we go on forever.
All righty. So I don't want to go on forever, but if you do want that that other George Floyd poem, which I think speaks more towards the anger, then I can do that.
Your choice. I'm willing to do that.
Okay, beautiful.
I'm willing to, sure.
All right, so let's cheer it up a bit with this one piece entitled, oh, wait a minute. I need to share my screen, otherwise it doesn't count.
It's just not the same. It's just not the same anymore.
So yeah, it's a prose piece and it is somewhat ekphrastic. And I found this, I was on my way home from an event and I was on the subway and I saw this Tabasco bottle that was broken. And my artist's eye kind of envisioned a long flowing gown, you know, coming from the Tabasco bottle. And this is what I came up with. And this piece is called, and it's in a persona. It's like a monologue. So this is entitled "A Condiment to Avenge." Just as certain as there were thorns on roses and claws on pretty kitties, Tabby was popular. You saw her at all the cool parties, the hangouts, and almost all the restaurants, whether they were the winsome mom and pop roadside diners or the hoity-toity eateries of the hoi polloi. I guess you could say that's what people liked about her. She didn't judge. And she was always there like a chihuahua, but in a good way. And boy, oh boy, Tabby was hot, and she knew it, but she was approachable. She was the kind of dame that you couldn't miss. You would almost always see her in red. She looked good in it. Everywhere you saw her, she made eyes light up and lips curl up. Guys loved her, and girls, well, girls loved her too. And that's the greatest irony, because someone in this city of angels had a beef against Tabby, and I don't mean hamburger, though she was good on that too. I'm talking about the kind of beef that was cold and rancid, bitter and forgotten as if it were left in the fridge too long, long enough to intimidate even the dutiful yellow box of baking soda sitting next to it. The kind of beef that would push Tabisco over a ledge and onto the pitiless pavement below. Even in death, Tabby looked ready for a night on the town, but for that lovely red frock of hers. It dripped tragedy into the gutter in much the same way as it would have if it were on my Monday morning pancakes. It's like I said, she didn't judge. But someone's going to be called to account for Tabisco's sad demise, and that's where this private eye comes in. My name's Witch, Sam Witch, and I'm the banker that's going to cash in that guy's chips. Oh, Lordy, was she ever good on chips?
Oh. Well, my train went to a completely different station. First, I was going to compliment your voice. I mean, this is something I've always admired from the first time I heard you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And, you know, you just tell a story so well. But this one is freaking fun. It's
Oh,
freaking
gosh.
fun, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Tabisco and Sandwich. And there's still poetic elements in the story, right? I mean, where was that dress? The red frock. That's the fourth paragraph, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just, they always say leave the best for last, and you certainly did. That lovely rock covers, it dripped tragedy and into the gutter, and much to say, the print's a little bit small.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I'll tell you what, let me make that a little bit.
Can you zoom it a wee bit? Just zoom it a wee bit.
Yeah, hang on just a second here. So we already have the picture. So what I'm going to do is enlarge this so that we can view the text a little better. So hang on a second. And bam, there we go. Let me scroll this up.
Easy eye,
yeah.
All right, where was it? I was really taken aback by that rancid hamburger. And the baking soda being intimidated, that was great too. Yeah, the kind of beef that would push Tabisco over a ledge. Oh, yeah. Yeah, ready for a night on the town. That's what it says. But for that tragedy into the gutter. The same way it would have if it were on my Monday morning pancakes.
And I know it's like, wait a minute, who puts Tabasco sauce on pancakes?
Really?
You know what? Tabby doesn't care.
Yeah, Tabby don't judge.
Yeah.
Can I see the ending? The last part?
Oh yeah, of course. Let me scroll that down just a little bit.
One last, because chips, that's the classic. I mean, I was a teacher for 37 years, and the number one snack food of students, high school students, I can only speak for high school students, is flaming hot.
Oh
chips,
gosh, yeah.
Right. With Tabasco.
Flaming Hots, Takis, yeah.
With the sauce. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate.
So.
Well, thank you for this sampling of your poetry. There's just one more thing we need to take care of for our housekeeping, and that is I want people to know how to get their hands on your poetry. How can they do that?
Okay, hang on just a moment. For now, there is no way to get a handle on my poetry. I'm published right now. No, actually, I do not post on the internet.
Okay.
And it's the reason why I don't post on the internet is mainly because hang on just a moment.
You're up to something, I can
Yeah,
tell.
yeah, I am up to something. Mainly it's because I want to, some publications will have stringent guidelines, and one of those guidelines would be if it's been submitted anywhere or if it's on public display anywhere,
Yeah, in
then
your social media, they don't want that.
exactly. So they don't
Right.
want it on social media. So I generally don't post it on social media. The actually, let me see. The none of these have been published previously though. So
Sounds like you need a new book, sir.
what's that?
It sounds like you need a new book.
I'm working on a book right now. I mean, I've looked at all of my
Yeah.
I've looked at all of my poems, and I'm going to have I am going to put them together in my first actual compilation rather than a chapbook. So I'm really looking forward to that. I have one of the best editors in the community who's going to be working with me. And I have some really good advisors on my team who'll tell me where I can go to get it published, how much it would cost to get it published. Oh, Lordy. And
Well, that
yeah,
varies. Yeah.
yeah, it does vary. And if I may share Inkwell with you, do we have time? Do we have that kind of time?
And Inkwell is.
Inkwell is the other George Floyd poem I spoke of.
Oh, all right. I better check the time. I don't want to break the rules here because then that opens up a Pandora's box for everybody.
Okay, I don't want to cause.
I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to say no. I hate to do it,
Okay,
but then this will leave them wanting more. That's what you want to do. Leave them wanting more. Okay.
okay,
So people got to wait for the book. Okay.
okay.
Wait for the book.
Great. So yeah, but however, I do have a regular poetry series, and it's called
Yeah.
Expressions LA. And in order to get on my mailing list, all you have to do is send a request to expressionsla@hotmail.com.
Is that
And
expressions or with the E or
EXPRESSIONS LA. I am not on Marvel's payroll, so I can put the X. I mean, I can put the E in the
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, I went with the sound,
Yeah.
so I want to be sure the correct spelling so people really find you because find your series because I've read in it and many of the finest poets have read in it. So it's a great series.
I've had some really good people read. It's on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month.
Mhm.
And I'm also looking, it's usually at the Studio City Library, but until the library opens up 100% and starts having events there, we do have, we're going to do Zoom only. And even when even once the library does open back up, I plan on having hybrid events so that they can be attended virtually as well as in person.
Yes, and I want to thank you from coming to us today from your distant island location.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, you just gotta love the British Virgin Islands. I mean, if not just for the infinity pool by itself. And the service is awesome.
All right, we're out of time. I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.